fan of the Hauraki Big Show podcast?
Yeah.
Make sure you check out more from Jase, Mike and Keyzie on their Instagram at Hauraki Big Show, or tune in to them 4 to 7 every weekday on Radio Hauraki. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Shit, yeah.
G'day, fellas.
You've had a rough day, mate. What's going on?
Oh, it's funny, actually, because in our chat today, there was a bit of dishwasher chat,
Oh, yeah.
and my dishwasher shat its pants this morning.
Do you clear out the filter?
Yeah, so it had flooded.
Because you hadn't cleared out the filter.
And my wife said, it was saying C4 on the thing, and I said, so I Googled it, and it's like lack of water flow or some bullshit. So I've been plugging away at that son of a bitch all morning trying to get it all
You just pulled the
unplugged.
filter out.
Oh, we've done that, but it's still blocked.
Right.
So that's really annoying.
You'd love that.
Yeah. Then something else happened that annoyed me, but I won't go into
go into
because
that
I
one.
can't go
Yeah.
into other things like that at the moment. So then
Give
I
it
was
a bit
like,
of time.
I was effing and jeffing, and I got into town here to do the show, and the fucking traffic lights are on the blink, and they're just blinking orange.
Yeah.
So massive
Did you
log
change the filter?
jam there. But what really annoyed me, actually, and it's a small thing, I know. It's a small thing.
It always is.
Context.
It always is.
So I get to the car park at Sky City there, and my card won't work. And I see on the thing there it says, all spaces occupied. Now, this has happened 4 or 5 times, right? All the NZME spaces are occupied. And so I get on the intercom, and the guy comes on and says, oh, no, all the spaces are occupied. You'll have to take a ticket. And I said, this has happened 4 or 5 times, and every single time that's never been the case.
Right.
They have never been occupied. And he said, I'm looking at it now. All the spaces are occupied.
Right.
And I said, well, every time that's happened, that's never been the case. And he said, take a ticket. So I went, okay, I'll take a ticket. So I took a ticket, went down to NZME car park. There's like 20 or 30 car parks there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck you.
I don't see how they'd be talking about the NZME car parks anyway. They must be talking about the public car park, surely.
No, because NZME has an area.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I don't see why they would be counting NZME's car parks because it's got nothing to do with them. They'd be counting the public parks, and the public parks, which are available to anybody, would be full. But that shouldn't stop you from going in and using your park. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you pull out a ticket, but then when you leave, you just use your swipe card.
No, I can't, because if you use your swipe card on the way out, it won't let you out because it's saying you're coming in.
Oh, okay.
So
And what
swipe it
happens?
again.
So what's annoying about it is then you have to go to this particular entrance and go through a 5 or 10 minute chat with some dude who's going, so what's your number? Sorry, hang on, someone else here. I'll come back to you. And you sit there for 10 minutes.
My wife dropped me off.
Did she? Well, that's because you're going to get on it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time tonight.
But
It's a
anyway,
celebration, isn't it?
Yeah.
it's all good.
That's
all
good,
dealt
Jase.
with.
Nothing makes me sadder than you coming in with a sad look on your face, mate. I just want to give you a big hug.
You can hug me, Keyzie.
Yeah?
Sure.
Get in there.
I'm looking at Mogi's lovely meal there, and it's
Looking good, isn't it?
You know what? And I asked before if it was pork. It looks to me like barbecue Chinese pork on rice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, it's beef.
It is beef on rice.
Is that brown
When I
rice?
get a I think it might be, actually.
Yeah.
Brown rice. My wife had a great start to the day, so she's gone down out of town there overnight. She's going to do a recce for a film, and she's getting picked up at 6:15 this morning.
yeah, good.
5:30 alarm, and then because our daughter knew that she was leaving, she got up about 4 times in the night.
Yeah.
And then and then she was meant to get and pick up at 6:15. So she went outside. I didn't know this, to wait. Whereas I would have gone with a just text me when you get here and I'll come out.
Definitely.
But she's gone
Rather
with
than
it.
freeze your balls off.
And the person was 45 minutes late.
Without a text?
Well, my understanding is no. I think
What?
I think she got one at about 20, 25 minutes in.
See, I would be texting you, hey, leaving now.
I would be texting you at the moment you realise you're running late.
Sure.
You know? Yeah. So I don't know what's happened there, but so she had a horrendous sleep.
A 45-minute wait out in the cold.
Out in the cold. household, which I don't know what she's
Is your dishwasher all good, though?
The dishwasher is looking good because
Yeah,
she's
great.
having nothing to do with it.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you're
was telling
stacking it.
Keyzie, I said on the messages there, we had another chat about it the other day. It's unbelievable. It is honestly like she's throwing things into a garbage disposal. That's how much care she has for
Yes,
placement.
no
It is
placement.
like- it's
My wife's
it's
the
like
same.
she's deliberately trying
To
new
wind you up.
ways. Or just a new way. What's the weirdest way that I can put this item in here? And she saw a video of a guy on Instagram who's sort of comparing everything else his wife does with how she treats the dishwasher.
Right.
If a pillow's out of place on the couch, bang, got to do that. If the
100%
if a
same.
blanket's not folded down properly on the bed, bang. But the dishwasher can get fucked.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
no sense because you want to fit as many dishes in there as properly as possible so they all get cleaned. They all get clean.
Yeah.
100%.
But she just and I give a shit about it, and she acts the way I act with everything else, which is oh god.
Yeah, here we go.
I've accepted now. I'm at the point now where I've accepted that Lucy is never going to stack the dishwasher the way I want her to, no matter
No.
how many times I ask her to. She hates me even bringing it up. So it's to the point now, sometimes she'll put something in, I'll immediately grab it out and put it where it's supposed to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. My
Hundy.
my wife, in that regard, isn't it interesting though? My wife is a horrendous overstuffer.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
Lucy
go,
will do that too.
they're not going to get clean if they're all on top of each other
Yeah.
like this.
And how many times do you have to have that conversation?
Many times.
Oh, well, infinite number. As many times as there are dishwashers, you'll have that conversation, potentially.
Yes.
It is such a
Actually-
It's weird,
what
isn't
is
it?
What
It's-
is going on?
I don't know what's going on
My
there.
wife overstuffs our washing machine.
My wife.
Oh, yeah.
So, like,
Nah, she's good about that, Zah.
see, I'll be putting stuff in there and I'll go, that's probably enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But honestly, sometimes
If
she'll be
it
like,
fits in there and you can kick it in and close the door fast
Yes.
enough, boom.
and she'll be like, I've put the washing on, can you hang it up? Like, yeah, sweet, open the door, and it's just like jammed in there,
Yeah.
and there's no space.
Actually,
no space.
yeah,
It's dry in the middle.
my wife does that too with the washing machine sometimes, and it'll be like beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep, and I'm like, what the fuck's that beeping? And I'll go and it's
Error.
Error C8.
C4.
What? The other thing with the dishwasher, yeah.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie. The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Last night, I think it was last night, I was rinsing the dishes, and then she came in and was sort of queuing behind me to rinse her plate. And I said, well, you chuck them in the dishwasher and I'll do the rinsing. You stack and I'll rinse. And she goes, oh, are you sure? Are you sure?
I like that. It's funny.
And then, so I hand her and she gets a bowl. She goes to put it somewhere and knows that I'm looking, so then puts it in the place where they're meant to go. So she knows it's meant to go in the
There.
bowl spot, but just fucking refuses to do it. It's so weird. It's the one area where she's a male about things, because in other areas I don't really care. But I've been trained, like in other areas where where it's the opposite.
Yes.
She has trained me, so now that I don't do, you cannot train a woman to do anything. Like in that sense, you know what I mean? Without
Definitely.
getting massively sexist or horrendous.
So it's- yeah.
We're talking about training women.
Yeah.
But she has trained me, so I think people know what I'm talking about.
Definitely. Like, I now separate the whites from the colours in the washing machine, all that stuff, which I never used to do, but it's because I turned all of her bras and stuff from white to grey.
Yeah.
Got a bollocking about that about 10 times. And now we've got two separate washing baskets, one that says whites, one that says darks.
Yeah.
So that's all sorted.
You know what you should do? You should
Oh,
label up the
God.
dishwasher.
No, because I do the dishwasher. So basically, we're at the point now where she just puts her dishes on the bench,
Do you know what I mean?
and I
It's an outrage.
stack it. But it's the only and that is faster than me coming and pulling it all out than redoing it.
Oh, 100%. But
she'll rinse
what's
it all.
even faster is if she took the learnings on board. You know?
Yeah.
Can I also clarify that my wife is a wonderful person?
Oh, and that
Oh,
goes, it's across the board. But
likewise.
It is hilarious to me. I don't know.
And I'm sure I do 10 times more things that frustrate her. But she doesn't have a podcast.
No, that's,
Yeah, she
that's
doesn't
right.
get to
She
voice
just pitches to her
her
mates.
spleen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vent her spleen.
Oh, yes, I was going to
Yeah.
say vent her spleen, not voice her spleen.
Yeah.
What
Both
else
of
do you
them are
guys
weird.
hate about your wives?
I don't
I don't
hate,
hate
I don't
anything about my
hate
wife.
anything about
Yeah,
my wife,
neither.
Keyzie.
However,
I could go on infinitely about all the things that I love about her.
yeah,
like
but
that you
no
said-
one's interested in that.
I like that you said infinitely, except for instead of at infinitum or whatever you usually
Ad
say.
infinitum.
which is like the real pretentious way of saying it. You could just say, I'm going on. I could go on forever about this. You know, I could go on ad infinitum.
No, ad infinitum.
Nitum.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm impressed you didn't do that this time.
You got to dumb it down, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I learned a new word last night, but now I've forgotten it.
Clitoris?
Pardon? Clitoris?
Was it... I'm really tempted to say Twilight Zone, but I'm not going to. What's it called when you start losing your marbles and can't remember stuff?
Dementia.
Was it dementia?
No, I'm very on the lookout for that.
Oh, I've been on the lookout. I had a shocker the other day, man.
But I don't... You know, sometimes when you're scrolling through your phone or whatever and it says, 5 early signs of dementia, I always go, nah.
5 early signs or 5 signs of early dementia?
5 early signs of dementia.
Signs of early dementia.
Yeah.
It's important we know exactly what was written down.
And I always go, no, I'm not going to read those.
Right.
Because
I think you have to keep an active mind.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the great thing about our show, isn't it, fellas? It keeps the brain ticking around.
Well, the other day I had about just all day walking into a room like, what the fuck am I doing here? Or just, it was terrible. I was like, oh, God, here we go.
The worst one was when you walked into the studio and you saw us and you're like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
Why am I here?
Who are you guys?
And then I yelled backbone and you're like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I do that a little bit, but not too bad. I walk into a room and go, oh, what was I doing?
Yeah.
I'm convinced, though, it's because I'm thinking of too much stuff at once. I'll be walking to the garage while
I
thinking
agree.
of some other shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll be like... Well,
yeah, thinking of 50 things and you can't remember the one thing.
Yeah, I think that's a massive issue that I have at the moment.
And also that, you go in to grab something and then you don't grab it and then you come back out to where you were and go, oh, shit, I didn't even grab that thing actually that I went in for.
That's classic.
Yes.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Your Hauraki Big Show Keyzie
Word of the day is... stacking.
So good. Hey, send all the Keyzie words in over the weekend with your cell phone number. You could win sweet prizes. Also, follow us on Instagram, at HoityJ, at Mr. Mike Minogue, at Chris KNZ. Call me Pugs, our producer.
Thanks, mate.